Yo, welcome to our little presentation. Really nice that you're interested in our work at Thomann. And before we start, really quick question. Who of you plays an instrument?
It's a lot.
Okay. And who of you is planning to learn an instrument? Oh, nice, cool. Yeah, we might have to build up on this. Yeah, for those who don't know Thomann, we are among the world's largest online retailers for music equipment, from the triangle over the grand piano to the fog machine and the saxophone. You can buy basically everything about us. And in the next 30 minutes, we'll tell you about the development of Thomann in the last 70 years, and especially about the role our passion for music has played in this. On this first slide here, there are already two really important elements for our daily work. Firstly, our claim, music is our passion, which is basically what drives us since the very beginning of our company. The second thing is our mission statement at Thomann.io, to create the most inspiring shopping experience for musicians. And this also is what drives us since our first online shop in the early internet. So
now,
yeah, let's continue. Who are we and what is Thomann.io? I'm Jöran, I'm the managing director of Thomann.io and at the same time the product lead.
I'm not Ralf, as you can see over there. I'm Arman. Ralf unfortunately caught some COVID, so I'm the replacement today. Yeah, happy to be here.
Thomann.io is basically the tech and data department of Thomann. And also we are a separate GmbH. We are very closely intertwined with all other departments at Thomann, like logistics, like care, like marketing. And our purpose at Thomann.io is to write code and build the infrastructure for our online shop, for our app, and for most of our internal tools. Slide, please. Cool. Yeah. The journey of Thomann started in the early 1950s, and in the beginning it basically was kind of a journey. Our founder and father of our current CEO, Hans Thomann Senior, he always loved to play music, and he studied trumpet, and he played in several bands in the Franconian countryside around his hometown, Treppendorf. And the other thing Hans Thomann Senior loved was to sell things, and one day he decided to become a traveling salesman, driving around on his motorcycle, selling accordions. And at that time, there were lots of Tanzkapellen in every village. And there were events with live music on the weekends, and the demand for music instruments was really high. And so people kept approaching Hans, asking him, "Hey Hans, cool, can you perhaps sell us instruments besides accordions?" And Hans said, "Yeah, of course, can do it," and gradually expanded his portfolio with wind instruments, string instruments, and accessories. And he went on as a traveling salesman until the demand for new instruments exceeded the possibilities of this motorcycle. And he eventually decided to turn his house, regular house in a regular village, into a store for music equipment. And this was, Gänsehaut, the birth of Musikhaus Thomann. So we're still in the 50s, and during the next decades, Musikhaus Thomann becomes quite an institution in the region, and the House of Hans turns into a well-stocked music store where you could buy basically everything a musician's heart could desire at that time. Hans, you can see it here, Hans had 5 children, all of whom were part of the company. And 4 of those children still are in the company, among them our current CEO, Hans Junior. And yeah, like his father, he's a very gifted dealer and seller and manages to increase our product range, our turnover, and the house of his father during the 90s and the 2000s, until it becomes the largest music store in Europe. Around this store, Hans builds the infrastructure he needs for his company. So, for example, in the last 20 years, he built like 4 new logistics centers, all of whom very quickly reached the limit of their capacity. Along with the logistics centers, there come administrational buildings, workshops, and a canteen for employees and customers. As of now, we have about 1,600 employees. We have about 100,000 customers a week, and our turnover in 2022 was about 1.3 billion. But we owe this success not only to our physical store in Treppendorf, but most significantly to our early steps in the young internet. Slide, please.
Yes, so talking about the young internet, of course, at a certain point, like in the beginning of the 90s, it turned out that this internet thingy does not only seems to be a trend, but is going to be something more sustainable. So what happened, Hans got approached by someone from the area in Franconia, from a company called Netzmarkt. And they told Hans, you need to go online, you need to sell your stuff in the internet. And Hans, of course, was quite open to that. And he actually started to be on Netzmarkt with Thomann. What's a bit of funny, that there was not only Thomann selling stuff or tried to sell stuff via phone back in the days or via email, or fax, sorry. And it was also a site called Flirtshow or Casino. So kind of a bit of, yeah, not very professional environment, but Thomann actually started their first internet thingies on Netzmarkt. Today, Netzmarkt is belonging to Thomann, so it's actually under our name, Thomann.io, and is building our infrastructure in terms of development operations, DevOps, and hosting. So we are still together and bond to each other. And this is, as you can see on the left-hand side, the first draft of our, so to say, e-commerce things we did in the internet. Well, today things changed a bit. So on the right-hand side, you can see the last status of our current website. It evolved, as you can maybe see. And today it's very, very likely that you can order the instrument or your accessory, whatever you like as a musician at Thomann. And it's very likely that you also find it in your language, and we are going to ship it in your country. So nice evolvement actually from this to that. Yeah, saying that, next slide, please. This is Hans Jr., so our current CEO. And he's very passionate, and we are competing with the best, so to say. And why that is, we will show you in the next slides. But who of you knows that German magazine called Brand 1? It's actually quite popular. Raise your hands. Nice, okay. A couple of years ago, Hans made it on the front page of that magazine, and it's stating that this is the man who beat Amazon. And it's actually, until today, one thing that we are always looking into if we are doing good on ourselves, but if we are also doing good on the e-commerce giant. And we beat them. And if you ask me and all of the employees of Thomann, we are going to beat them in the future. And how this is going to be done, we will show you on the next slides. Slide, please.
Yeah, that's just a picture of our lighting showroom. No story behind it. We just like it and wanted to show it to you. Next slide, please.
Yeah, so talking about what we do well, what is our core capacities, and why are we competing against those giants in the music industry is basically our passion. We are authentic experts, and at the end of the day, if you are a customer of Thomann, and you have contact to the customer service or to the customer care department, you are actually talking to a customer. So when you take the phone and have anything to maybe complain or a question regarding your instrument, your order, someone will pick up the phone who is a musician. So if you buy a piano for 15K and you have a really detailed, dedicated question, there is no chatbot or there is no automated voice on the phone. It's a musician. So you are basically in contact on eye level with the customer care service. And this is something that I think from our perspective is quite a gatekeeper because this passion and that experience that we basically have and the people that we are training inside Thomann coming as young people into the company and evolve and being trained by us are taking up the phone and answer your question from customer to customer. Slide.
Yeah, you need it. We probably have it. We always have around 100,000 articles in our product portfolio. And sure, given the actual state of the world, there might be some articles with longer waiting times until they're back into stock. But generally, we're investing lots of thoughts and time and money into warehousing, which makes us quite resilient against current and future crises. When competitors struggle to get certain items back into stock, the chances are high we still have some of them somewhere in our warehouse. But we not only have that broad product assortment to be able to ship things when others are out of stock, but also to be able to provide our customers a huge variety of possibilities, a huge variety of products they can dive into, they can tinker around with, they can get inspiration from, they can combine until they've found their perfect solution for their home studio or their band. Every day we ship up to 35,000 packages, and we try to make sure that every item reaches the home of our customers in the best condition possible, which is quite a challenge because music instruments, the musicians among you might know this, react a little like living beings. They're sensitive to climate, they're sensitive to the shipping process itself. So our service team tries their best to check, to configure, to tune every instrument before it leaves our warehouse so that our customers only have to put the instrument out of the box at their home and can start to play right away. One more thing regarding the warehouse. Next to our normal articles, we have about 70,000 spare parts in stock. Means we can repair almost every instrument and guarantee you that your instrument will accompany you for a lifetime. Slide, please.
Yeah, well, talking about repairing stuff. So as you can see, if it's broken, we are going to fix it. There are some quite impressive numbers, actually. So per year, we are actually fixing 4,000 pieces of equipment. There are 9 in-house workshops around Treppendorf. So when you go there and go into the physical store, you can see how people work in there. So like in the real store, you can go into the buildings and see how the expertise is basically approached to the music instruments. So there's a lot of knowledge that is again gained over the last decades. It's approximately 165,000 instruments through quality assurance every year. And this number is quite impressive as well. So 253 employees in service and QA. And as Jöran already touched upon, so we make sure that even though we maybe buy instruments by other resellers, we are not just taking them and deliver them to you. We are taking them out, we are looking if they're okay, we are adjusting them, we are refining them. If you want to have your name on it, we can do it. We make sure that the instrument is delivered to you in a way that it fits your needs and you'd like to have. So that's one of the core strengths that Thomann has. And again, it's a high likelihood that if you have a broken instrument, we are going to repair it. and sometimes maybe make it even better afterwards.
Yeah, now let's zoom out a little and ask the question how an e-commerce company like Thomann structures their work. And nowadays, we're still talking about things like agile teams, agile processes, about DevOps, and so on. But when we think back to the beginning of those movements, we didn't really need these kinds of methods to think about, to focus on our customers at all time. So we really love it when our customers rate the products they bought on our website. But we even love it more when they rate the experience and send us their feedback. Therefore, we've created the role of the Feedback Hub Manager in our team. And yeah, the Feedback Hub Manager, our colleague Pauline, she's collecting feedback from our customers about their online shopping experience in our online shop and in our app. And this is no impersonal thing. On the contrary, Pauline gets really in touch with the customers. She asks them about their feedbacks. She gives them context and eventually calls them back when some of their feedbacks turn into features in our shop or in our web or in our app. So yeah, this kind of proximity creates a really close connection between our customers and us and provides us the opportunity to always reality check our software at all time. So in the end, that's pretty agile, I think.
Yeah, well, talking about agile and all these fancy methodologies and being customer-centric, there is all these buzzwords going around. With our colleagues, there is basically the bridge to, as Jöran mentioned, to our customers and to our development teams. So the first time I really understood what that means is that Thomann is trying to basically build up a shop that is done by musicians for musicians, which means that there are features on our website that aren't there in any other shop. And of course, if a couple of you are musicians, it's the best thing to go into a physical store, to take your guitar, take your saxophone, go on the drums and play it. This is an experience that you can't have online. You need to do it. But what we are trying is to basically come close to that, to be really customer-centric. And there is one feature on our website, and to be honest, Jöran asked me on Monday if I can jump in today, and I did. I didn't know that feature. But what I know is that within my team, there is a data scientist who is playing in a band. So he's a guitarist. And I asked him, Falco, please, could you explain me what is actually Stompenberg? Who of you is playing a guitar? Like an e-guitar? All right, cool. So you probably know what I'm going to talk about. And I'm trying to explain it in a way that everybody gets it. So if you have an e-guitar, you can have a pedal. And you're basically connecting this pedal to your guitar. And with this pedal, you can basically adjust your sounds. You can fork them, give them highs, ups, lows, whatever. You guys maybe know it better. And now Thomann is offering a lot of these pedals that you can order online. And sometimes you want to check beforehand if this is the right pedal for you. So what Thomann did is actually created together with an IoT company in Franconia, together a setup which enables you to record your play actually with your guitar, upload it to the website, and this physical soundtrack is going to Treppendorf through a rack of Raspberry Pis. So we're going to be technical. This Raspberry Pis are taking that signal, transferring it in a way that the pedal and all these pedals are basically in the warehouse over there, and it's directed into the right pedal. The pedal has then these buttons that you can adjust, and you're basically adjusting the pedal from your PC, so from your window. So if you turn it here, you actually turn it in Treppendorf. And what's then happening? The signal is coming back to the customer, and the customer can actually use the pedal from their home and can listen to how the adjusted soundtrack would sound as it would be under your feet. And this is a feature that couldn't be more customer-centric. It's solving our customer problems. We don't have to ship every time a pedal that is sent back because it doesn't fit the needs of the customers. And this was quite impressive to me. I actually haven't understood it the last days. And that was also a situation where I said, okay, wow, this company is really customer-centric, and we are solving customer problems. That's just amazing, yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, even our passion needs some structure and processes. We grew quite a bit over the last years and had to implement certain structures to keep the company running and to keep transparency across all departments. And I'll really quick run you through some of those measures we implemented in the last 2 to 3 years. First of all, our company backlog, where we track all strategic initiatives throughout the company and meet regularly to talk priorities. The second and really important thing is our internal blog called the Change blog, where we as the tech and data team write about the things we are doing, we are planning, and most importantly, why we are doing those things. Next thing, we introduced overall project management to the company, especially for those projects that need more than 2 or 3 departments. We are currently in the process of improving our data landscape with the goal to provide every employee the data he or she needs to do their work in the best possible way. We are always trying to improve our own DevOps culture and are currently in the process of moving our whole shop into the cloud. Finally, about 2 years ago, we built a C-level team around our CEO Hans to have more experts in the company to support when it comes to strategic decisions. So every day there are new challenges in our work, and we are always passionate to tackle them.
Yes, well, talking about all these initiatives that Jöran just showed us, I mean, it's clear we are digitizing Thomann. And now if you want to digitize a company that was hugely successful in the last years and decades, actually, the question is always why. And we know it because we are from tech, product, and data, and to be future-proof and to do the right things to bring Thomann in a safe way to the future. We firstly needed to align our passion towards Thomann and towards the products. Meaning that if someone from data, tech, or product is going to Treppendorf, you see creative people. They maybe work there for 20, 25 years, and they are the experts when it comes to music. They are musicians, they're playing in a band, they are singers. And now someone quite rational comes from, let's say, the Silicon Valley of Europe, Berlin, into Treppendorf and tells them, you need to be agile tomorrow. You need a Kanban board. And then they're saying, what? And this was the point where we identified we need to get close together and we need to share our passion. That's why almost every employee that hasn't played an instrument started with it. So I started to play the trumpet. I'm not a musician, and they see that they like it. And I explained them what a cloud data warehouse is. And they're like, hey, that's also cool. So now we are actually in the momentum of combining these two worlds together, the traditional creative with the new and technology-driven environments. And that's something that's a huge task for us, but we are really looking forward to it to keep the situation of building the most inspiring customer experience for our customers. And I guess. Yeah, that's it. Stay passionate. And if you still want to learn an instrument, feel free to visit our online shop, contact our colleagues in the customer center, and start right away. And one more thing, if a developer might be in the audience who is interested to work with Thomann.io, feel free to contact us via LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm a customer of Thomann. I like it very much,
nice.
but I've got one question. in relation to Amazon, right? Your business model is completely wholesale. So you buy the products, you unpack them, fix them, and set up the price and sell them. So it's not like a marketplace approach, and this is not something you're planning for next years or so to enable other brands to sell on your platform, like Amazon is doing it.
No, not at the moment. We're trying some things in the direction of like retail media. We also have our classified ads section in the shop, but these are only really small things. Might happen somewhere in the future.